£6,000. That's literally Gertie, isn't it? 78,000 miles. You can get them for like a few grand now. I think a lot of people would be surprised that you could actually buy a cheap camper van like this and live in it. I think we're surprised we've been able to do it. You could share all of the obstacles
we faced with
owning an
getting Gertie,
yeah,
and living in a 36-year-old camper.
Yeah, like breaking down, maintenance, getting parts, rust, driving it, getting cold, winterising.
How we get power.
Boop. Let's do this.
We'll have a little stretch. Hey, welcome back everyone! We're Trist and Kez.
Welcome back. This week is going to be living in the UK's cheapest camper van. Can it be done? Well, yes, obviously. We've been doing it for 17 months. What are all the things that people are fearful with these older, cheaper vans? We bought old Gertie 17 months ago for £8,000. You can now pick up a Talbot Express on eBay, I saw this morning, for £5,000 and less. There was one going for like £2,000, which is just completely crazy, especially when you see some of the prices of converted vans nowadays. I mean, I know prices in general have come down in the last sort of year or so, that's for sure, but you're still talking tens of thousands in many cases, aren't you?
Well, yeah, we're coming into winter now and we bought ours coming into sort of like summer. So.
Yes. Seasonal pricing.
Yeah.
Tris still can't accept the fact that the prices have dropped so much, but they have. You know, you can. Life. Oh wow, there's some Shire horses pulling a little cart just going across over there. Yes, there are many fears of buying a cheaper, older van, and so throughout this video today, we hope to help either kibosh or advise or help with some of those concerns. Because yes, getting out, van lifing is financially more accessible than I think a lot of people think.
I think that's correct, Kez.
Yes. Before we pack up and head on, I think let's jump in with, well, there's quite a few. We'll probably share our biggest... Oh, he just sneezed in my face. Thanks. Our biggest piece of advice owning one of these older vehicles right at the end of this video. Yeah. Keep you watching. I think one of the biggest fears is breaking down.
Yes.
How often does it happen? Yeah, how easily fixed is it? Well, I would say we have broken down in old Gertie, and by broken down I mean needing to call the AA 3 times. Each time they have come, it's been a fixable issue. I think the beautiful thing about these older vehicles, we'll give you a little squiz inside the bonnet, is they are so simplistic in their setup.
Yes.
I say that like I know how the engine works.
Yeah, we've got no idea.
I don't. So there's no electrics, there's no sort of fancy parts. The majority of on-the-spot jobs, mechanics can fix it. Yeah. If not, can easily bodge it to get you to a garage. There's not, you know, they don't have to do all of these moving parts of the engine, you know, disassembling. They're just much easier to fix, these vehicles. And so I would say in 17 months, breaking down 3 times really isn't that bad.
Nah, not really.
And yeah, I would say waiting around for a few hours each time. Yeah. We've never had to be towed. We've never had to go on a flatbed. Touch wood. Yeah, touch wood. I mean, it might happen, but, you know, I mean, that's also, if you've got great AA cover or breakdown cover, what does it matter? Yeah. Did get Gertie serviced when we first got her. She had a 12-month MOT, but getting a service is always a great idea. It means obviously you're testing all of those little niggles that could possibly cause a breakdown. Do we need to get on the road and do some jobs? Because you're losing patience, aren't you, buddy?
You're like, we should have done these jobs ages ago, guys.
We shall pick you up on the road to hopefully debunk some of your fears or offer you some comfort in some of your worries about potentially buying or living in an older vehicle.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Bosh.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, so as we do this video this week, this seems like a massive bit of irony, doesn't it, darling?
Turn around and turn the bonnet.
How long have we been sat here like this?
Well, I mean, we didn't touch wood. I blame it on ourselves.
I don't know, I felt like I touched wood. We'll see when we watch the footage back.
But everything we just said about breakdowns, Gertie has decided not to start this morning. And for the first time ever, we just had an exhaust backfire.
Yeah. quite alarming, wasn't it?
Pretty loud. To be fair, I entirely blame ourselves.
Yeah.
Part of slow travel, guys, don't forget to turn your engines over.
Mm.
We haven't started her for about a week, and yeah, she's making us pay the price.
Yeah, regretting that one, haven't we?
I think that's another thing when you buy one of these older vans, is you just know that you're not going anywhere quickly. Sometimes you just it's a lesson in patience. She will start. I'm still confident she's going to start. We're going to give everything a bit of a dry off in the engine. She's a bit cold and a bit damp. I think the engine's a little flooded, hence the exhaust backfire.
Yeah.
So where we needed to go half an hour ago, we might get to in a couple of hours' time.
Yeah. Slow travel, guys.
Just the irony that it comes on today is absolutely, literally, we finished filming with you guys.
Let's turn the van around and get out of here.
So yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Are you going to give the distributor cap a dry off?
Yeah, done that already.
Oh, have you?
No, I've just done that now.
Oh, okay. So we've done that. Sprayed everything with WD-40.
Another
little top tip for you.
That you should do.
Huh?
That you should do. You shouldn't just do like all areas. That's a bit dangerous.
Oh, is it? We just do all areas, don't we?
No, we don't.
Oh.
We do the bits I saw the AA guy do.
I sit in the van and Tris does the outside of the van, keeping it as real as possible. We're now sitting and waiting. We shall keep you updated, guys, with what happens.
Yeah, see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Absolutely buzzing. It's taken us like 2 hours to get her started. She reigns! You're now the Gertie Whisperer, aren't you?
I've always been the Gertie Whisperer.
Oh, mate.
Always been. But funnily enough, I never lost faith, because I know the sound of her engine now.
Yeah.
But just before I went to give it a go, a little robin came on the tree in front of me. People may call me a lunatic, but I think these things bring special luck. And yes, expertise, not expertise,
so happy I
but
could
it's
cry.
just, but that is what we said, you get to know these older vehicles.
Yeah.
You understand their sounds, their quirks, like, you know, whether you need to pump the gas or put your foot down or just ease off a little bit. And yeah, it's like playing a musical instrument.
Lesson learned. Don't let us sit for so long.
Yeah, we probably will.
See you next week. Anyway, now we've got more of this. Hopefully we'll make it back and there's still some daylight so we can go for a lovely walk with Frank. Anyway, let's go and do our jobs, which we should have done 2 hours ago.
Yeehaw!
Woohoo! We just sit in the slow lane and hang out, guys.
No speeding tickets, you know?
Yeah. Get overtaken quite a lot in Gertie. Gertie, I'm so proud of you. Gertie, I'm so proud of you.
Gertie, I'm so proud of you. Good old Gertie girl.
Coming in. On Curry's, get phone. Walk Frank for we. We are behind schedule, guys. This is not how we wanted today's vlog to go, but we roll with the punches. That's a nice feeling, isn't it? Stop, little.
I think what we'll do is we'll probably pick them back up at the van. So this is what, how many hours later? 16, 24, 36?
We left you at Lidl because everything just took longer than we thought. The van was, as you saw, a bit of a nightmare. That leads us on to getting good breakdown cover, doesn't it?
It does. There is a solution to every problem. Thankfully, we didn't have to call the AA yesterday.
Well, we were only one step away. I did book
didn't you?
Or the call out with the AA, but
he lost faith. He lost faith quicker than me, guys.
Quickly cancelled it. Kez, the old Gertie Whisperer, managed to get the girl going, didn't you? If you are worried about your van breaking down, I would recommend getting some sort of breakdown cover. We've got AA cover and we pay a monthly fee. Obviously that's breakdown cover, you know, you can get home start, all that malarkey. But a cool little added extra that we've got is parts and garage cover. So you pay a £30 excess, and that covers you for certain parts and certain labour costs up to £500, and you can use that up to 5 times a year. And as I say, you pay a £30 excess. So what is quite cool, one time we needed a new battery in our van, and I think that was going to be about 150 quid or something like that. Paid £30, got a new battery. Bosch, and it is a Bosch.
I love that you call it cool. That's like our version of cool, man. What? Yeah.
That's my version of cool.
It is Trist's version of cool.
Quick tip for you is, if you are with the AA specifically, make sure when your renewal date is, because sometimes if it auto renews, they will bump up the price. I thought we'd get notification of the auto renewal. That didn't happen. Then I checked my bank account after probably a couple of months of the actual renewal date. Gone from like £30 to well over 50 quid a month. So gave them a quick call. They actually refunded the difference for the months that it had gone up.
I have a question, because I know.
What's that?
Hit us in the comments. No, I'm joking. No, I have a question. Is the AA cover for old Gertie more or less? Trist loves sorting out these sorts of covers, and this is his domain. But is it cheaper or more expensive for AA cover for this vehicle as opposed to our T5? And that sounds like that was a really scripted question. It genuinely isn't. I'm genuinely intrigued and think it might be helpful to you guys.
I don't think it is.
That's quite cool then, isn't it? Because I think that's what a lot of people fear is, the breakdowns and then getting proper cover. But if the cover's not much disparative to what our T5 was, so there you go. What you got to worry about? You can drive an older vehicle, and hey, you can break down every week. Just call the AA out. But also, to add to the AA cover and the auto renewal, I think Murphy's tail just went straight in the camera. Got to give a shout out to the guys.
This was something that we came into when we got old Gertie. Being a 36-year-old camper van, a lot of people said, "Oh, you'll find it hard finding parts for something that old." It isn't. Go to coastal motorhomes. I think they do more than just Talbot Express parts and accessories. I think they do them for motorhomes, hence the title, coastal motorhomes. Oh, there he is, just walked all over the camera. Especially if you are looking for Talbot parts, they are the go-to guys. They are brilliant. Not only is their website brilliant, but they have lots of parts in stock. I think the longest we had to wait for, and I can't remember which part it was, we had to wait like a week at the most for them to get that in.
At the most.
And they're just super helpful, whether that's through the website, email, or just giving them a call. They're always on hand. That
is something to add, like with a mechanic taking an older vehicle in, sometimes they will want you to source your own parts, which ours does, and that's so easy. It's honestly, you just get the part details from your mechanic, put in the call with Coastal Motorhomes, and we've literally, in the 17 months, we've ordered quite a few different new parts, and we've had 0 issues.
I think at the moment, if you are a new customer there, you can get 5% off your first order.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're not sponsored.
No. That's quite cool. Anyone else start cooking and have no idea what they're making for dinner? I thought, start with mash.
We'll see exactly what you're cooking, don't you?
I don't. What am I making?
I thought we're having a shepherd's pie.
No, but I'm thinking I might throw in some Yorkshire puddings, and I've got some carrots. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll show you a bit of that though, I think.
Oh, okay, maybe we'll show you a bit of that. We'll see.
Swipe. And you can see what we're having for dinner.
We are going to discuss, how to winterize an older vehicle, how to deal with rust on an older vehicle, driving an older vehicle.
How we deal with power. Vanlife, baby! So we'll have a bit of Kez's kitchen, and then we'll pick you up again in the morning, and we'll go for a lovely walk, hey? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Go and find some ponies.
That's a good plan. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. We have woken up in the forest again this morning, haven't we? We're trying to get our early morning mojo back, aren't we? It's really easy in the summer to wake up super early and get out, isn't it?
Because it's nice and bright with the daylight, isn't it? But we're getting up and it's dark at the moment, but it quickly gets light, doesn't it?
But we're doing it. This morning we got out and we saw Peggy and Sue, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Good morning, guys. Had a lovely walk. Sun was rising.
A couple of these Shetland ponies we see every morning, don't we?
Lovely to see you guys.
We are back. Another day.
Another dollar.
We're
so sad. We don't even plan these things.
It's a chilly one today, so we thought good to jump on to the sort of winterising element.
Winterising Gertie.
Yeah, how do we stay warm in Gertie? Well, if your gas fire goes, you don't. I don't think there's much difference in an older vehicle as there is in a newer vehicle of winterising, is there?
It depends on how insulated your van is. I believe that Gertie will not be as insulated as more modern vans. Think about that when you're buying a van. When it's getting to freezing temperatures, what we do is, because we've got an exposed fresh water pipe at the back, we do have to empty out all our fresh water, because I am paranoid that if it gets too cold, that pipe's going to crack and we'll never be able to hold and retain fresh water in our van. I should probably have a look at replacing the little freshwater pipe with kind of like a cap maybe, because the amount of times that we actually empty out our fresh water is really only when it's freezing cold. Be aware of things like that. And if you're not in your van all the time, you do want to empty your van out of all water. Like, we've got a boiler system here, so if we weren't in here, then the temperature is certainly going to get a lot colder when no one's in here, so you will kind of want to empty all that out if you're not using it for long periods of time, because when things freeze, water expands and boop, that will create a leak.
And then to stay warm inside, we've got a lot of windows in these old Talbot Expresses. People seem to charge an absolute fortune for the foil covers. We go for the inside covers just because I never really like the idea of these outside ones when you're van lifing.
Yeah, especially when you're more like wild parking.
Yeah, you've got to jump out to remove the covers to see anything, which I don't know, I don't like that idea. Can you grab the...
Of course.
Can you grab the
I'll be
covers,
back.
please, Trist? Rather than spending a fortune on these, foil covers for your windows, you can literally just buy a roll of bubble foil wrap off Amazon, as we've done, cut them down to size. A lot of people will fabric them, and I'm not very good with the sewing machines. This is just Gorilla Tape, which works perfectly. And then they just stick to the window with the condensation as it gets colder.
Hey.
So, yeah, these work an absolute treat. They really do retain the heat. We also replaced all of the front curtains with thick insulated blackout curtains, which also keep a lot of the warmth in. Got a little gas fire. You can fit a diesel heater, which a lot of people do. Candles also do retain some heat in the van.
Well, they give out heat, they don't retain heat.
They don't retain heat, honestly. Have yourself a little carbon monoxide monitor.
Make sure you don't die.
Make sure you do crack windows in your van in the winter. It can be really easy to want to keep all of the heat in, but then that will build up condensation in your van. We do have a little window vac to remove condensation. Here is one I prepared earlier.
We've got the Karcher window vac.
But that does only remove the condensation from your windows. Condensation can build up in cupboards, on walls, which will create damp. As you are heating your van, unfortunately, you do have to let a little bit of it escape.
Yeah.
So that you're not, making your van super damp, especially if you live in it over winter. That's something to be super aware of, isn't it?
And what added additions can you have in your van to help combat that, Kez?
Maybe we'll dish up your breakfast and my breakfast. And we'll...
continue on.
Yeah. Yes, continuing on with, I was going to say keeping dry in your van.
Kind of is. Dehumidifiers, that's it. Yeah, so get yourself a bunch of dehumidifiers for your van. We've got about 10, I think, dotted in different places. Because even weirdly, like when we cook pasta, say, or boiling water, you can go to one of the back cupboards and it's all damp in there sometimes if we haven't opened up the roof hatch to let some of the air out. Airflow, dehumidifiers, kind of as many as you can in as many nooks and crannies as you can. We put them in the back of cupboards, all over the place, in the front little footwells. Yeah, you get the idea. Put them everywhere.
Moving on, whilst we're sitting down and having a little cuppa with you guys, I think we'll talk about sort of buying a vehicle, the maintenance of one. I know a lot of people have questioned about rust. When we bought Gertie, there are a few things that were on our checklist, and that was no chassis rust, a habitation check, and mileage were the three sort of main components, weren't they? Because they're the three things that can give you the most issues. Rust, there's superficial rust on Gertie. We've sanded it, we've painted it, it's come back. It's just little spots and bits and pieces on the external, isn't it?
We just got to keep on top of it.
Yeah, the main thing for us was that there was no chassis rust. Mileage. Now, this is a really interesting one, wasn't it? Buying an older vehicle, your inclination would be to go for less miles, which makes sense, you know, if then it's got more life in it. Not necessarily. So apparently going for older vehicles with less mileage means that you can face more issues sooner down the line. Simple fact being that engine has been used slightly and then has had huge periods of time that it's not been used. So unless it's been inside, stored dry, then the engine's parts can seize, they can rust, and they can just become brittle, can't they, over time? And that's what we actually found even with Gertie. We had to replace some of these older parts, didn't we?
Yeah, and some of them have been a bit challenging to get off.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Says the mechanic.
And then really you don't want to go with anything over 100,000 miles unless you're only doing short trips, just because, you know, it's standard, isn't it?
It really depends on what you're looking as an outcome of a vehicle. If you're looking to go away for short trips, weekends, then maybe something with higher mileage would be less of an issue for you. If you're looking to go and tour Europe or live in your van full time, maybe something with higher mileage where you're then going to look to put a lot of miles on it isn't going to be so ideal. How much do you want to use it? How far do you think you're going to be averagely driving in your vehicle? And then that will help you kind of make a checklist of what you want from your vehicle. So yeah, short trips, maybe better, maybe okay to have high mileage. You can actually pay I know the AA will come out and do a vehicle check for a couple of £100, £250 I think. So, you know, depending on how much you're looking to invest into your vehicle, you may want to look at, as you said, habitation check, gas safety check, and you can even get the AA to come out and do a X amount of point checks. So yeah, there's a bit of investment possibly for something that you may or may not buy, but in the long run you may save yourselves a lot of money if it turns out to be a bit of a scam or a whack job. So yeah, have a think. Yeah, that's just an interesting one. In our old T5 it was just standard windows. Apart from the front windows, a lot of them were tinted or kind of blacked out to a degree. So yeah, we would sit in that sometimes and you'd feel like it was night time and it was during the day. But part of it was way more insulated than having lots of exposed windows. Yes, it's a bit more challenging in winter, having all these exposed windows, but when the going's good, you get beautiful views. So something else to weigh up as well. Yeah, absolutely. I think we need to get our day moving. We're going to walk this fella, which we will take you out so you can see a bit of the New Forest, because we won't be here for much longer. We send out a newsletter every Thursday. So if you want to get subscribed, get that in your inbox, click the link below in the description. We're going to put together a checklist for all the stuff we've spoken about and buying your first camper van. If you want to get that, again, sign up to the newsletter and we'll be sending that out in the next coming weeks. Next couple of weeks. Let's take you for a walk. Let's show you some New Forest beauty. Nature, animals and the great outdoors. We might find Peggy and Sue again for you. Let's go, guys. Time for a walk, mister. Paul. To get the other side of this. How are we doing that, Kez? Oh, well done. Why will I not learn to buy the proper shoes? Oh, Christ. Oh, that wasn't actually as hard as I thought.
I have a quick question before we jump into any more points. Do you live in a van? Do you travel in a van? Or are you looking to buy a van? It's really interesting when we're doing these sort of more informational type videos / travel videos / a bit of everything in between. What point in your van life journey are you? Or maybe you have no intention of buying a van and just quite like to watch people living more of an alternative life.
Drop it in the comments.
Driving an older vehicle, because that was very applicable to us, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
I would say Trist is the better driver, but I enjoy driving more. He's a slower driver, by the way.
That pains you to say, doesn't it?
We have a choke start that you have to get used to. The pedals are made, 36 years ago. They're not made with comfort in mind.
Your shins and your calves were in pain when we first started driving long drives in Gertie. Now we've got incredible leg muscles. So.
Even like the gear stick, it's not one of these sort of smooth modern gear sticks.
Yeah.
It's more like labour intensive, I should say. I was really nervous to drive her. I found the whole experience quite daunting. It sort of threw me off a little bit because living in a van, driving is one of the things I love the most.
Yeah.
And I was almost, quite scared that I thought, well, that part of what I love the most is going to be taken away from me. Oh my goodness, you get used to it so quickly, so easily. My advice is just do little short trips, drive with someone that gives you that confidence. The older engines and the older vehicles, because of their simplicity, you become way more attuned to the sounds of the engine. I mean, you don't have a rev counter for starters. So you have to listen. You learn to drive in a way that you haven't needed to in a modern vehicle, and it makes the whole experience even better, in my opinion.
I'm just such an excellent driver. I feel the vehicle.
Driver.
I'm an excellent driver. We tend to drive between 50 and 60 on the motorway.
Yes.
55 is probably her sweet spot. Bang on about slow travel. We literally slow travel in Gertie when driving her.
We learnt that on our very first trip, didn't we?
Yes, we went up Porlock Hill in Somerset. I think the steepest A road in the UK. Started going up, third down into second down into first. First was tricky, and I was like, well, I don't know what we're going to do. We need to get up this hill. Perseverance, we made it up. If you are worried about older vehicles and steep hills, you will make it, just about.
Yeah.
So don't worry too much.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. We used to be part of tailbacks. Now we cause the tailback.
Go with the flow that these older vehicles set. So yes, if driving is one of your concerns, then hopefully we've busted that myth.
Oh, nice. Mythbusters.
Then you may be wondering, how do leisure batteries, split relay charge, how does that all work in an older vehicle? How do you get power? We work online from our laptops, as well as doing all of this for you guys. So power consumption is at a maximum for us. We don't have the modern lithium battery setup, but hey.
No on the roof solar. So stay tuned. We'll get into that.
Yes.
And just like that, we're back. Oh, hang on a minute. Next on the list is how do we power ourselves whilst being on the road? Gertie is a very simple electric system. We don't have a lot of space for all these huge lithium batteries.
Gertie come with a split charge relay. Oh. Now, if you know what that is, or if you don't, it basically means when you're driving, it will charge your leisure battery for you.
Lithium is really the way to go. We might look at putting a very small lithium battery in the bonnet. That's where the housing is for our leisure battery, so it's probably not ideally placed with cold and elements, so we've just kept the battery that we got with the van in there for now. We've covered in quite a few videos all the different battery banks that we carry around, but the one that we've got at the moment whilst we are here and we have in the awning is our EcoFlow. And if you're not au fait with what these portable battery stations are, it's basically a portable lithium battery. Whilst we're in our awning working, we'll power these lights off of 240 and we've got some USB charging points here and a 12-volt port at the back, but this does the job whilst we are working in the awning.
We have a few different batteries, a few different companies, just because of we like to try out different companies. We love them all. We have solar setups for all of them.
Yes.
Also, should actually add the van itself. My mind was blown when Trist did this. That we can actually take these battery banks, plug in your external hookup as you would if you're on a campsite, and plug in your van that way, so it sends the power throughout your van.
We can kind of be off grid all the time, really,
Yeah,
can't
I mean,
we? When the sun's out, guns out.
Exactly. We spent the month of May basically pretty much pitched up on a farmer's field right next to the sea for we had a surfing May, didn't we? Solar panels set up outside, the battery plugged into the van, solar panels powering the battery. We were off grid for almost a month.
Yeah. So what's great is, well, we can move this out of the van into here. If we only have power in the van with our, with a static lithium battery setup, we wouldn't be able to power anything in here. So, these can come, if we want to go and work outside today, this can come with us. As Kez said, different solar panels fit these. Obviously, it's a bit trickier this time of year, a lot less sun, but in the summer, these are perfect. Any questions that we haven't covered on these portable battery banks, let us know, comments below, or drop us an email. If you, convert in a van or don't have the right electric setup in your van, this might be the way to go. As we say, you can run quite a lot of stuff within your van off of one of these things, and you don't actually have to go to all the effort of wiring up your van. I've seen people who've sort of part converted vans, they've done the paneling, insulation, etc. themselves, but have left out the electrics and just have one of these battery banks to light up fairy lights and a few other things, and that's how they roll. So
hugely popular with car campers as well.
Yes.
If power is one of your concerns, we have busted that myth. Sometimes there are some things that you just can't avoid going wrong, and you have to work with that. The simple fact, if it is heavy torrential rain, which we have all been experiencing recently.
Yeah, like this crazy rain, not just like normal, oh, that's raining quite a lot. This kind of feels like you're driving through a big one of those big car washing machines.
Yes. If you get that type of rain and you have one of these older vehicles, the engines are exposed.
Yeah.
An exposed engine does not like to get wet and damp. You can almost guarantee that your engine will not start.
Yes. Initially.
So the simplest and easiest way to avoid this is get yourself either an engine cover or make sure you cover your grates.
Yeah.
Obviously, don't do that when you're driving, and don't do that when you're starting your engine. We cover our engine vents, don't we? It's something to be aware of. If wet gets in, then you might have a bit of trouble get going first thing. The good news is, as soon as it does stop raining and you can open your bonnet and your engine can dry, you're good to go. That's just something to be aware of. I think if we
expect the unexpected. We didn't expect that, but we've tried to work with it.
And we've been caught out many a time. Too many times. I think we've covered buying a vehicle, driving a vehicle, breaking down a vehicle. If you aren't already subscribed, please do subscribe. It means so much to us. We are such a little channel, but it may not come across, but we put a lot of effort into this to know that you guys are loving what we do and we're helping people and sharing this lifestyle. Yes. Yeah. I won't harp on. And if you're watching it on a TV, if you quickly log in on your phone and just subscribe, it's free. It doesn't cost anything, and
it means the world to us.
You're not signing up to an email list. You're not going to get bombarded with anything.
Unless you sign up to our email in the link below,
and then you will get an email once a week. But again, not bombarded. But yes, and if you're not following us on Instagram, why not head over there, say hi.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss another one of these videos. And until next time, folks, bye for now.